Let's be clear, they don't warn you. There is no knock on the door, no courtesy call from fate. Life doesn't care if you're ready. It doesn't care if you're happy. It simply decides to snap you in half. It hits. And when it does, the world watches. It watches to see if you will shatter, if you will crumble into a weeping, pleading mess, begging for a comfort that will never truly come. This is the first test. The fork in the road that separates the common from the consequential, the fragile from the forged. Most will fail. They will break. But not you. Not if you desire to become powerful. This isn't about getting back up. This is about being reborn from the wreckage. Your breaking is not the end of your story. It is the brutal, necessary beginning of your evolution into something unbreakable. Chapter 1. Seek control, not comfort. Weak minds seek comfort. It is their first and final instinct. When the world hurts them, they run. They run to friends who offer hollow platitudes. They run to noise, to screens, to distractions, to any temporary high that will numb the terrifying reality of their situation. They drown their emotions in shallow pleasures, hoping the pain will simply wash away. But it never does. Understand this now, and brand it onto your mind. Comfort is the killer of growth. A mind addicted to ease is a mind that will never ever taste real power. Strength does not begin when you stop feeling pain. It begins the moment you stop craving reassurance and start craving absolute control. Ask yourself, in the midst of the chaos, what can I control? Right now, your breath, your posture, the very next thought you allow to occupy your mind. Stop negotiating with your weakness. You must voluntarily embrace small hardships. Choose the cold shower. Choose the silent room. Choose the extra repetition when your body screams to quit. Train your mind to resist softness. Each time you choose discipline over ease, you are not just being productive, you are also cultivating a valuable habit. You are performing neurosurgery on your own soul. You are rewiring yourself for resilience. You are building a fortress inside your mind, brick by brutal brick. Chapter 2. Master your reactions. It's not what happens to you that defines you. It never was. It is how you respond. And that space, that tiny critical gap between the trigger and your response, that is where your freedom lives. That is where strength is built. When betrayal strikes you across the face, when loss blindsides you and steals the air from your lungs, your animal instinct will be to scream, to lash out, to cry to the heavens, "Why me?" This is where you must become more than human. You must become a strategist. Stay silent. Detach. Let the emotional wave crash against you. And do not move. Do not flinch. Your power lies in your pause. Behind that calm exterior, your mind must be a war room. Calculating. Analyzing. Choosing your next move not from a place of raw feeling, but from a place of cold, hard calculation. Every single time you pause and plan, instead of reacting, you are taking back a piece of your power. That is the fundamental difference between the broken and the unbreakable. The broken are slaves to their emotions. The unbreakable are masters of their response. Chapter 3. Rewrite your story. Now, let's talk about the story you tell yourself. Because most people stay broken. Because they accept the story life handed them. They wear their suffering like a badge of honor, hoping for pity, for understanding, for a free pass. Stop it. That story is a cage. It is finished. From this moment forward, you are the author, and you are tearing out the last chapter. The narrative of the victim is a poison. Your trauma is not your identity. Your pain is not your personality. It was an event, a lesson, a test. And now, you pass it. You are not what broke you. You are what you decided to become after the breaking. When people try to remind you of your past, when they try to drag the ghost of who you were into the room, let them talk. Nod. Smile. But internally, know this. The person they are trying to talk to no longer exists. You are not here to tell the world what happened to you. You are here to show them the weapon you became because of it. Chapter 4. Kill attachments. Build inner power. Attachment is the silent killer of mental power. It disguises itself as love, as loyalty, as connection. But beneath the warm surface, it is weaving chains around your strength. The more you depend on external validation, on the approval of others, on a specific outcome, the more vulnerable you become. You wait for a call that never comes. You compromise your standards to keep people who were never meant to stay. You hand over the keys to your emotional state, and then you wonder why you feel so powerless. To become truly dangerous, you must become emotionally independent. You must detach. Withdraw your energy, quietly and without announcement. When you stop depending on others for your sense of worth, you become untouchable. The world loses its grip on you. People will call you cold. They will say you've changed. Let them. Their words are the rattling of chains that can no longer bind you. It is better to be called cold than to be weak. Chapter 5. Embrace solitude. Forge your mind in silence. They will tell you that being alone is dangerous. That isolation is a curse, a sign of failure. This is a lie, told by those who are terrified of the silence. Weak minds need constant noise. They need a crowd around them at all times to distract them from the war that is raging within their own skull. But you are different. You will now enter a phase of chosen isolation. This is not loneliness. This is solitude. This is the forge. And in that profound silence, you will build the foundation of your new mind. It will be uncomfortable. Every fear you've ever suppressed will rise to the surface. Every insecurity will scream for your attention. Every regret will knock at the door of your consciousness. Do not run. Do not distract yourself. Sit in the silence and dominate it. Let it all come. Listen to your mind scream, and do not flinch. This is not torment. This is training. This is where you rewrite your very code. You stop thinking like a servant, waiting for instructions, and you start thinking like a strategist, plotting your conquest. When you finally return from this silence, you will not be a better version of your old self. You will be a different entity entirely. You will return, needing nothing. And that is the most dangerous thing of all. Chapter 6. Turn pain into precision. Listen closely. Pain is not your enemy. It is the greatest intelligence test life will ever give you. The weak, when faced with pain, beg for comfort. They seek to numb it, to escape it. But the powerful, they go quiet. They stop feeling, and they start calculating. They look at pain as a message, a puzzle, a warning shot from the universe that says, adapt now, or be erased. If you are still reacting to pain emotionally, you haven't understood it yet. Pain is data, raw, unfiltered intelligence. Your heartbreak is data. It shows you where you were, too trusting, too naive. Your failure is a map. It highlights the paths that lead to dead ends. Your betrayal is a list. It names the vulnerabilities in your perimeter that you must now seal shut. Don't drown in the pain. Dissect it. Analyze it under the cold, bright light of your reason. Transform that raw data into a ruthless strategy. Let every wound, every setback, every disappointment sharpen you. Forge yourself into a blade that never, ever dulls. Chapter 7. Build emotional immunity. The world does not destroy you with weapons. It destroys you with expectations, with pressure, with emotional bait. You are told to be nice when you should be silent, to forgive when you should simply walk away, to explain yourself to people who have already decided not to listen. This is how they control you. Your mission is to build emotional immunity, not numbness, which is just avoidance, but immunity. The ability to absorb the blow and remain completely, totally unaffected. You must become a fortress. Audit everything that touches your energy, every conversation, every person, every environment. Ask yourself one ruthless question. Does this strengthen me, or does this scatter me? The very second you feel yourself shrinking, doubting, or hesitating, you cut it. Emotionally, strategically, quietly. If someone leaves, you do not chase, you recalculate. If someone lies, you do not scream. You document and you adjust their position in your life. Insults become background noise, meaningless static. You are not here to be understood. You are here to be undisturbed. Chapter 8. Command with presence, not words. True strength does not need to shout. Powerful men do not speak often. They do not explain themselves. They do not argue in public. They walk in silence. And yet, their presence speaks louder than any words ever could. This is calibration. This is energy. The less you say, the more control you hold. You need to carry yourself with an energy that forces people to feel you without understanding why. Your silence becomes a mirror. In the face of your calm, people will project their own guilt, their own fear, their own intentions. They will reveal themselves, while you reveal nothing. That is how you win, without ever lifting a finger. If they talk over you, you go silent. If they challenge you, you respond with action, not noise. If they do not respect your presence, you make them feel your absence. And your absence will become louder than your presence ever was. Chapter 9. The Fox and the Lion. Within you, two powerful archetypes must merge. You must be the fox, and you must be the lion. The fox is cunning, perceptive, and sly. It detects traps. It sees the hidden motives in a smile, the manipulation in a kind word. It navigates the world with a quiet, calculating awareness, never falling for deception. The lion is pure strength, courage, and power. It does not need to scheme because its raw force is enough to crush threats. It commands respect through its sheer presence. Alone, the fox can be overpowered. Alone, the lion can be tricked. But together, they make you untouchable. You are clever enough to avoid the traps and strong enough to deter the attacks. You are strategic enough to plan 5 moves and powerful enough to execute that plan without hesitation. Integrate them both. Become a hybrid of intelligence and force. Chapter 10. Relentless focus and discipline. Motivation is a fleeting ghost. It comes and goes. Discipline is the bedrock. It is the training ground of the mind. It is the daily, unsexy, brutal repetition that forges an unbreakable will. Your life must become a protocol, a ritual. You wake up and you do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel. You resist the siren call of laziness. You push through the resistance. Every single time you choose the disciplined path, you are not just completing a task. You are casting a vote for the person you are becoming. You are reinforcing the neural pathways of strength. Every rep, every early morning, every moment of focused work stacks upon the last. This is not about productivity. This is about psychology. You are building an empire of willpower, brick by brick, inside your mind. And an empire cannot be toppled by a bad day. Chapter 11. Become unseen and unheard. The world rewards those who control themselves, not those who broadcast their every move. Do your work in silence. Build in the shadows. Let your progress be your only noise. Share nothing until it is undeniable, until it is a fait accompli. The less people know about your plans, your struggles, your next move, the more unpredictable you become, the more powerful you become. When you disappear into your craft, you create a vacuum. People will wonder. They will speculate. Their uncertainty becomes your advantage. Let them disappear into the work. Immerse yourself so completely that when you finally emerge, you do not need to announce your return. Your results will do all the talking for you. Let your success be the only sound that breaks your silence. Chapter 12. The Unbreakable Mind. Look back. Every trial was a crucible. Every loss was a lesson. Every betrayal was a brutal education. You have been tested in fire, and you have been tempered. You no longer beg life to be easy. You no longer pray for mercy. You know, with a cold, certain clarity, that no matter what comes, you will adapt, you will analyze, you will overcome. This knowing, this is what it means to be unbreakable. It is not the absence of pain. It is the absolute certainty that pain cannot stop you. It is freedom. The freedom that comes from knowing that your inner state is no longer for sale to the highest bidder or the latest tragedy. You are anchored. You are immovable. Chapter 13. He who controls his mind controls the world. This is the coldest law of power. It is simple and it is absolute. Control your mind and you control everything. Your perceptions, your reactions, your destiny. You no longer live by chance, buffeted by the winds of circumstance. You live by design. Every thought is chosen. Every response is calculated. People may never understand you. They don't have to. Their respect, their fear, their confusion, it all radiates from the same source. Your utter mastery over the chaos within. The external world is just a reflection. Master the internal, and the external must obey. Chapter 14. Rise, this is not recovery. This is not healing. This is a rebirth. You are not who you were before the breaking. That person is gone. You are what remained in the ashes. You are forged, cold, disciplined, unshakable. Remember this, in your core, you are more powerful than the world that tried to break you. Let your silence carry your message. Let your calculated actions speak for you. Let your unwavering presence be your declaration of war on mediocrity. The chapter of the victim is closed. The era of the weapon has begun. Now, rise, unseen, unshaken, unstoppable. Chapter 15. Forge your mental citadel. You have controlled your reactions. You have killed your attachments. You have sat in the silence. Now we build something permanent, a citadel inside your mind. This is not a temporary shelter. This is a fortress that will stand for a lifetime. Every disciplined thought is a stone laid upon the last. Every conquered fear is a pillar raised against the storm. Every moment you chose clarity over chaos, you reinforced the walls. This citadel has a single unbreakable rule. Nothing enters without your permission. No external opinion, no betrayal, no sudden catastrophe gets past the gate. You observe them from the high walls of your own mind. You see the chaos outside, but inside, there is only calm. There is only order. This is where you retreat to strategize. This is where you stand to command your world. They can rage outside the walls. They can scream your name. But inside, you are the sovereign. You are the king. And a king does not beg for peace. He imposes it. Chapter 16. The Predator's Patience. The world glorifies the loud, the flashy, the quick to strike. This is a fool's game. The truly powerful operate on a different timeline. They possess the patience of a predator, not the impulsiveness of prey. When you are wounded, the weak instinct is to lash out immediately, to prove you are still strong. This is a reaction. It is predictable. It is weak. The predator waits. It conserves its energy. It studies the landscape. It understands that timing is everything. A revenge taken too soon is wasted. A move made in haste is a mistake. You must learn to hold your pain, your anger, your ambition, and let it mature. Let it ferment into a cold, precise fuel. Do not rush to show your strength. Let them believe you are broken. Let them grow comfortable in their victory. Your silence is not surrender. It is the coiling of a spring. Your stillness is not weakness. It is the drawing back of a bowstring. And when you finally do strike, it will not be an emotional outburst. It will be a tactical conclusion. It will be so precise, so perfectly timed, that it will feel inevitable. Chapter 17, The Ultimate Weapon, Detached Obsession. You have been told to care, to be passionate. But passion is emotional. It is a fire that burns hot and then burns out. It is unreliable. We replace passion with something far more potent, detached obsession. This is the final evolution. Be obsessed with your goal, with your craft, with your mission. Pour every ounce of your being into it, but remain completely detached from the outcome. Do not be obsessed with getting the reward. Be obsessed with deserving it. Do not be obsessed with being loved. Be obsessed with becoming so formidable that love becomes irrelevant. This detachment from the result frees you from the anxiety of failure. It liberates you from the need for approval. You work with the intensity of a madman, but with the calm focus of a surgeon. You are all in, but you cannot be knocked off center. Because your satisfaction comes from the execution, from the purity of the effort, not from the applause that may or may not come. This makes you unstoppable. When you are detached from the outcome, no one can manipulate you with promises or threats. You are playing a game only you understand, by rules only you have written. Chapter 18, The Echo of Your Unbroken Will. And so, we arrive here, at the end of the beginning. Look at what you have survived. Look at what you have transformed. The breaking was a gift. It was the universe's way of stripping away everything you were not, to reveal the unyielding core of what you are. You are not just resilient, you are anti-fragile. You do not merely withstand shocks, you grow stronger from them. Your mind is now a weapon, your heart a shielded fortress, your will an unbreakable law. The world will test you again, it is guaranteed, but it will no longer break you. It will only sharpen you. You will walk through fires and emerge not with burns, but tempered. Let this be your new truth, your silent mantra. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become, and I have chosen to become power itself. Now, go. The world is waiting, not for the person you were, but for the force you have become. Do not speak of this transformation. Do not announce your arrival. Let your presence, your calm, your unshakable competence do all the talking. Let the echo of your unbroken will be the only proof they ever receive. Become a legend. In silence. The final silence. Where power resides, all of this, the control, the detachment, the strategy, leads to one final profound realization. True power does not reside in the explosion, but in the unbearable tension before it. Not in the roar, but in the silence that follows it. This is the silence you have been building. It is not an empty silence. It is full silence, A silence loaded with potential, with observation, with unexpressed force. It is the silence of a fully drawn bow that has not yet released the arrow. In this silence, you are complete. You are not waiting for anything. You do not need anything. You are a self-contained system, a closed loop of power. When you can stand in the center of your own life, in the middle of the chaos and the noise, and be utterly, totally silent within, you have achieved the highest form of dominance. You become a gravitational force. People, opportunities, and outcomes are pulled into your orbit not because you chase them, but because the weight of your silence demands it. The sovereign's oath, so let this be your oath, not spoken aloud, but etched into the architecture of your mind. You will never again beg for light. You will become the source of your own. You will never again seek a fortress. You will be the fortress. You will never again fear the breaking, for you now know that you are the one who holds the glue. The world did not break you. It released you. It shattered the container of who you thought you were, and in doing so, it unleashed what you were always meant to be. A force of nature, governed by your own code, moving with silent, unstoppable intention. The training is over. The application begins now.